Facebook, welcome Instagram. We are on day 2 of our Eating with Ease and Feeling Your Best this holiday season. And today we are going to be talking all about self-care and taking care of yourself, honoring yourself, supporting yourself through stress and overwhelm. I know the holiday times, holidays can get really crazy. And when things are crazy, taking care of ourselves tends to go out the window. I feel like when I get stressed, it's like, it's easy to miss workouts. It's easy to miss taking care of yourself. It's so easy to do things for other people and then leave yourself really depleted. So in this video, we're going to do a few things. One, I want to debunk some things about self-care. As much as massages and bubble baths and long walks on the beach and things like that are wonderful, that's not always reasonable with your life. And if you're anything like me or anything like any other busy moms or busy women or busy people that I know, moms or not moms, working or not working, whatever you're up to, life gets busy and things are pulling at you, right? And so you need some practices that you can take care of yourself quickly and efficiently, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, just to let you know, if you keep seeing the side of my face and my head turn, my camera for Facebook is here and my camera for IG is here. So I'm doing a little bit back and forth, but that's just so we can reach more people and I get to talk to more people because some people follow us different places. So really, really pumped about this. So first I want to backtrack and share a little bit about my self-care journey because this is nothing that I would have felt qualified to talk on ever for a very, very long time. Self-care to me was always something that I knew I needed to do. Like I knew I needed a morning routine and I knew I needed to go for walks and I knew I needed to meditate, but I just never did consistently. And it would take so much willpower and so much pushing to get myself to do it. And then once I did it, I would, feel good, but it was like getting myself there that was really tough. Hold on one second. So just checking my comments. Someone mentioned that I'm not in the normal group. Yeah, so I'm on a streaming platform right now that's allowing me to go live in different groups and I think on my personal page. So I think I'm live everywhere, hopefully. If not, hopefully people find our video. So let me backtrack a little. Okay. So when I was on my journey, right, prioritizing myself was really tough. And, through my food struggles, I thought I prioritized myself because I would hit the gym and do workouts and that kind of thing. But really, I was just prioritizing or trying to prioritize my weight loss. I wasn't actually prioritizing me, like my body, my soul, taking care of myself, right? And what that led to was a focus on fighting my body to get the weight off, a focus on controlling my cravings and my eating, and a focus on just trying to force my body into submission to be a shape that it wasn't necessarily meant to be and to try to stay there. So who can relate to that? Like you might call it self-care to hit the gym, but really there's this battle or this fight occasionally going on inside of you. And as I healed that, right, and started connecting to myself and caring for myself through my food and movement, that part got a lot better. But I kind of poured that intensity, so to speak, into my work and actually creating our business. Ironically, here, right? Supporting women with taking better care of themselves. And I'm over here going so crazy trying to support everyone and build everything that I'm not taking care of myself as much. And between that, the struggles with the binge eating from the past, the intense dieting, and it was kind of like the perfect storm to start leading my body to do some really funky things in the world of all my organs weren't happy with me. So when I was 21, my kidneys failed. Not 21, actually, probably a little younger, like 19, 20. That moved into hormone imbalances and thyroid issues. Thyroid is largely linked with like sharing your voice, self-care, taking care of yourself. It gets very, very affected by yo-yo dieting and gaining and losing weight. I started getting adrenal fatigue. For those of you who don't know, quick summarized version, your adrenals are these little guys that they manage your stress. They produce your stress chemicals and stress hormones. And when you are overtaxing your body, whether it's workouts or stress or family stress or life, our body can handle a lot acutely. Like we can handle a lot of stress for a period of time. But when this turns into chronic, not caring for ourselves, chronic heightened fight or flight in our body, our adrenals, especially as women, our adrenals, our thyroid, our pituitary, our hormones, all of those link. And when those are off, we do not feel good. And, I'm sure there's some men here. Hey guys, if you're here, and I can't speak for the male experience personally, but what I will say is while men can have thyroid and adrenal and hormone stuff, women get a really big reminder of it every month if you haven't hit menopause yet, right? We are smacked in the face with this roller coaster of emotions and feelings and all of these things that show us, hey, like if you're having up and down PMS, that's real bad. If you're having tiredness in the morning where it's hard to get yourself to do anything, if you're feeling crashes in the afternoon, like there's some stuff going on in your body. And hopefully we don't want them to get to as loud as my screams were, which was literally organs failing and not working, right? We want to take that sign of tiredness in the morning. We want to take that sign of the crash in the afternoon. And instead of pushing through it with a cup of coffee, we want to check in with what we need. And that to me is self-care. Now, I don't mind coffee. If you have a body that does great on coffee and you feel good on it, great. I used to not feel good on it. Now I can have like maybe one coffee or like a half a shot of espresso, maybe one espresso or like some tea, and I feel good. That was not me a year ago. I could not have it. So anyway, self-care is to me, it's basically going through life in a way where you're not constantly overriding yourself to get a certain result, to do what you got to do, or whatever that is. Now sometimes you just got things you got to do no matter how you feel, right? That's just life. We have people depending on us. We have work depending on us, we have all of these things, right? But at the end of the day, you have to come home to supporting yourself through that life that you're showing up for, or you will end up like a place I did or worse, with debilitating health conditions, with a body that's not happy with you, with weight gain that doesn't seem to stop, with not feeling like your best self. My precious says, I need a coffee replacement. My anxiety goes crazy when I crash. I've heard it's bad for Hashimoto's. Yeah, so I really love chai tea, and you can do it and make it in like a latte so it kind of feels warm and good. Either almond milk. I like coconut milk better than almond milk. Froth it up, make it good. So that's good. Add some stevia. Another thing that is actually so good is called mud water. It has a chai tea base. It has all these mushrooms like chaga and like all the lion's mane tail, all these antioxidants. And there's this creamer that I love called Picnic. It's a dairy-free coconut milk or oat milk creamer that has adaptogens in it that help your brain. So that was a little hack I did to come off coffee, as I use mud water. It's a subscription. Mud water literally tastes like mud. It doesn't taste that good. But when you put the little creamer in with like your little stevia, it's good. And it has about a third of the cup of a cup of coffee, and it tends to not have that anxiety to it as much. So that could be something that you use to kind of get off if you feel like your body is not having the coffee thing, right? But okay, back to self-care. And so actually let's talk about this as an example for self-care, right? The world is telling us to go, 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 go. We need our coffee. And then all of a sudden we feel depleted, right? And you get in this bind where you're like, well, shit, if I don't have my coffee, I'm not going to be able to function. But if I do have my coffee, I'm going to feel anxious and I'm not going to feel good, and we get in this place where we're like, what am I going to do, And so this question is great. And I'm not telling her, hey, you got to stop coffee tomorrow. There might be some days where she has it, just like there's some days where I have it. But that connection to self is self-care. The self-care is not about coffee or not coffee. Self-care is about, how is this affecting my body? And what can I do to support myself through this? So if we bring this to the holidays, right? Let's say we are at our family's house. And as much as we love them, they're one, like when I used to binge eat at my mom and dad's house when I grew up, so I would feel completely free with food and go home and feel like a little triggered again. And I don't anymore, but this was a while ago. It like brought back some of those old patterns. And I mentioned this yesterday, but another thing that's different about my parents' home than my home environment is there's this interesting thing because it's super quiet. It's on a lake and it's gorgeous. So the outside's so relaxing. And my parents also watch, even if they're not watching it, there's usually like something on in the house, right? TV, news, there's just, something, there's buzz, where my house is not like that as much. Unless my boyfriend's home playing video games. But my little room by office is nice and zen. So, I didn't realize that going home, even though I loved it, I'd get a little like overwhelmed sitting and chilling around the house. I'd get a little overstimulated. Any of you have situations that you like go in and they might feel good at first, then before you know it, you start feeling a little off. You start feeling like, eh. So for me, I would notice a little tension or anxiety. And and of course I'm not going to just leave the room as soon as I get tense, right? That's not a way to live. So I'll do my things to work through it. But let's say I get to a place where I'm like, I really need a break. Self-care to me is not, oh, family, I can't be around you. I'm going to go take a bubble bath and a walk and do my own thing all day. That could be self-care if you need it. But self-care to me in that moment, it's like, hey, I'm going to go step outside and play with the dogs for a few minutes and stretch in the grass and take a few deep breaths, right? Or I'm going to go sit in my room, put my headphones in, listen to a song or two, kind of go in my world for a second, then I'll come back out. Or maybe I need to get a workout in, right? You get to decide what those things are that you need, but take this live as your encouragement to not always feel like you have to push through. I'm all about pushing and getting shit done. I'm all about showing up for others. I'm a big proponent on following through on your commitments, on taking care of your responsibilities, on living a life where you have a lot of personal responsibility for yourself, your actions, and all of these things. And I'm not a big proponent at doing that at the constant sacrifice to yourself, right? How you can have both. And, if you're a working mom with 4 kids, your self-care might look very different than someone who has no kids and has time to like wake up when they want and they work from home. Or my situation, I have a little more flexibility in my schedule on most days, or on some days. Some days I don't. But, everyone's got a different schedule and a different life. And I'm not saying moms are the only one that's busy. I know we have a lot of non-mamas here, and, you got busy lives too. But what I am saying is we need to be realistic about what's possible. And then we need to check in with ourselves and say, what's the smallest doable thing I can do to take care of myself today? As much as I want the morning routine, as much as I want the workout routine, as much as I want to review my day at the end of the day and get the 8 hours of sleep and do all these things, that sometimes can feel like an absolute mountain to climb. And sometimes you just got to take a step back and say, you know what, that'll be my one day, but how can I break this down into a high leverage thing that's going to support me today? So what I highly, highly, highly suggest you doing is taking a notepad out right now, or even just letting me know in the comments and using this. Actually, that would be awesome if you let me know in the comments. What are some things that help center you and help support you? And just kind of brain dump. So mine is deep breathing. And one technique that I use for that is super simple. There's all different kinds of breathing. We teach it in some of our programs. But one simple technique is a deep inhale and then through the nose, and then kind of simmer on that inhale for a second, and then exhale longer than you inhale. Do that like 10, 20 times, and your vagal nerve, which is responsible for keeping your body feeling safe and deactivating the stress response in your body, do that. And that will really, really help bring you back down to earth. We have a meditation. We have getting outside. Getting outside for me is huge. Mandy says, stopping what I'm doing and drinking a glass of water. My Precious says body scanning and meditation. Me too. Hot yoga, walking. Yes, yes, yes. So walks for me have been incredible. I think I told the story the other day on one of my lives where my brain was telling me, no, you don't have time to go to work out. Then my mind was telling me, if you're going to work out, you need to go get a workout in and sweat. You haven't worked out enough this week. And then my anxiety and my body and what I really needed was a walk. And I went and took that 20-minute walk. I sat in the grass, I stretched, and I felt like a new person. And I was able to come back to work and do all the things I needed to 10 times over. Melinda says, go outside and look at the stars. I immediately get present because when I need the grounding, it's almost always in my evening anxiety. Yes, I love that. A small break from the kids. Yes, got it. You need a break sometimes. Going outside, getting fresh air. So one thing that's really, really helps me is music as well. Music has the power to change moods, right? Sometimes I'll even just have one little ear pod in, kind of like my hair over it. I'll just be playing something that's calming. I have different apps on my phone. One of the apps I think is called like Brainwave or something. And it's kind of like brainwave binaural beats to activate relaxation response in your brain or energy in your brain, that kind of thing. The Calm meditation app is great. The Breathe meditation app is great. There's just a lot of resources at your fingertips. And I want you like to really start someplace that feels easy. You know, when you're going into these holiday situations, the chaos, the stress, you got to get the perfect gifts. You have to travel, you got to pack, you got to go to a party. I'm speaking from my own experience today because I got to do all that today. And then I realized my shoes didn't go with my Christmas party dress for my boyfriend's Christmas party. And now I'm like, oh, I got to get new shoes, or do I? I don't know. I got to pack us up. There's all the things we're taking the dog, all these things going on. I'm like, okay, that feels very stressful and I can breathe through this. What is my little mini moment of self-care? I'm not going to have time for a big workout day today, so I'm going to at least go stretch outside on the balcony for a little bit, right? This stuff is self-care. We talked about stepping away from the all or nothing on the first day of this series. If you haven't watched that, go watch it, right? The all or nothing tells you, if I can't go get the big workout in, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to keep pushing through work. All or nothing says, if I can't eat super clean today, screw it. I'm just going to eat it all and start over tomorrow, right? All or nothing says, oh, I only have 10 minutes. Like, that's not enough time to do anything. Like, what's that going to do? Whatever. I'm just going to like pack the kids' lunch. The all or nothing says, okay, this person really wants me here right now. I ran out of time from this. I only have like a minute. Oh, whatever. I'm just going to get ready and get in the car, right? The present part of you says, oh shit, I only got a couple minutes. Can't do the workout I planned on doing. What can I do in these few minutes? I'm going to get a couple stretches in and at least move my body and come back to myself, right? I'm going to play a relaxing song in the car instead of calling the person I need to call, because my brain and body need that. And I need that quiet time to come home to myself. So this is your invitation to write out anything you can think that are those little mini moments of self-care, and have a couple go-tos in your back pocket for when things get crazy, when things get stressful, when you have cravings, and checking in. Is this coming from hunger, or is this coming from not taking care of myself and needing more food? Might be. Maybe it's time to eat. Maybe you need more food to feel satisfied. Or is this coming from, I just haven't been taking care of myself emotionally. I haven't been regulating my emotions. I haven't supported myself emotionally. I haven't paused and taken a breath today. You know, I've let myself sit in this stress response and overwhelm. Of course, I want to go grab food at the end of the day when my anxiety is running high, right? So really practice this. And one thing that helps me, especially as we get into New Year's resolution time. So at the end of this series, we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions. And one thing that really helps me when I'm thinking of my longer term goals, like, you know, being healthy, feeling good, being able to run faster, I don't know, whatever your thing is, right? Being more present, getting a morning routine, all of these things. You know, if I go right to the 20-step morning routine, odds are I'm not going to do it. But if I commit to, hey, I'm going to take 5 minutes every morning and I'm not going to scroll on my phone, and I'm going to get out of bed and stretch, or I'm going to lay in bed and do some deep breaths before I jump into my day. That's a starting point, right? And then before you know it, when you get on the floor to stretch, you might do a little more than your 5 minutes. Or when you do your deep breaths, that might go into something else. So I encourage you, regardless of where you are, to really, really work, get the momentum going. You know, what's that thing I need to support myself today? What do I need to support myself in this moment, right? And someone asked, what's the Facebook group you have? So it's on Facebook. I think it's called, what's it called? Let's see. Where is it? It's called Food Freedom and Body Confidence with Brittany or with Brittany Brown. And the URL for it is facebook.com/groups/food freedom with Brittany. But if you search Food Freedom and Body Confidence with Brittany Brown, you should find it. So facebook.com/group/food freedom with Brittany. Awesome. So I hope this was helpful. This is a little bit shorter today. But if you guys have any questions, I am speaking of Christmas parties and preparation and all that craziness I got to get ready for today. This one's going to cut off a little early. Well, it's not really early. We've been going 30 minutes, but if anyone's got a quick question or two, let me know because I want to answer questions and support you. So let me see. Thank you. Looking forward to joining. Awesome, Vanessa. Super excited to see you in there. Okay, a lot of you are relating to this, taking a deep breath and giving a hug to someone. Ooh, hugs, connection with others are so good. A lot of times we think of self-care as just coming to ourselves, but sometimes self-care is, I had a friend actually 2 days ago who doesn't really ask for support. She does everything on her own. And she called me and she's like, I just really need you. You know, I got this stuff going on. And I was like, cool. Let's meet up. Let's talk. Let's hang. Like, let's spend time. And that was her act of self-care. And she actually needed someone. And such a daring act. So do you need to reach out to someone? Do you need to ask a friend to go do something? Do you need to be vulnerable about what's going on? These things are all self-care. Self-care is also massages, right? Self-care is also acupuncture. Self-care can be chiropractic. Self-care can be working out. Self-care can be moving. Self-care can be boundaries. You know, what are you going to do and what aren't you going to do? What time are you going to go to bed? Your sleep, right? What needs to be talked to with others in the house so you can actually get to bed and get your sleep and feel good, right? These boundaries, these constraints, these are important and these support your self-care. And we're going to be talking more about that in the upcoming days of the series. So Sharon says, sorry, I'm late. Can you address what to do when we only gain weight with this new way of life? Yes, got it. Okay. So we're going to be talking about weight loss a little bit later in this series, specifically as we get more towards the New Year's resolution side of things, because that's very common when New Year's resolutions and things come. So it's this interesting like space we get in when we're on this journey to food freedom and ending the diet cycle and taking care of ourselves, right? It's sometimes we stop dieting and depending on how we do it, it could lead to weight gain. It doesn't always have to, right? But it can lead to weight gain. Or sometimes we don't gain weight, but we haven't lost it, right? We don't want to go back to dieting, but we want to lose weight. And we're kind of in this middle ground where we don't really know what to do. Hey, Krista. So, you know, there's a couple things that I see lead to weight gain on the food freedom journey. And that is when someone takes the idea of releasing restriction and stopping dieting to a place that is almost disconnected. So they were disconnected before with the dieting, right? Disconnected from their body before with the dieting, but then they go into disconnected eating, which is, ooh, I don't want to trigger survival mode. I don't want to diet anymore, so I'm just going to eat whatever, or I'm just going to get the second and third helping because I'm not restricting anymore, right? You know, so there is this I don't want to call it quite a free-for-all. Some people go on a free-for-all, but there's just a disconnection, and it's still eating from the mind of like eating more because you're supposed to, or not eating the pizza because you think you're supposed to not trigger survival mode, right? Versus, hey, what does my body really, really need right now? So that's one piece that can cause it. Another piece that gets a little sticky sometimes is, let's say before you were binging and restricting, and the restricting didn't fully make up for the binges, but it kind of leveled out the weight gain a little bit, right? Then all of a sudden we stop restriction and it takes a little bit of time to get rid of the binges or the overeating, right? So now you have more daily calories plus an occasional overeating session, where before it was like overeating session, restrict, right? So for most people, overeating restrict still leads to weight gain, but you might be one of the unicorns who it didn't. And in that case, sometimes this transition could lead to a little weight gain. Once again, doesn't always have to, but it can. But the biggest thing I see is the disconnected eating and the kind of pendulum swing from diet mentality to I'm just not going to restrict and eat whatever I want. And, that kind of mentality, right? Maybe you're not all the way over there, but there could be kind of some swings there. So the place we want to land eventually is right in the middle, which is I am not dieting, but I'm also operating from a place of self-care and a place of caring for what supports me and my body. So for example, if I woke up for breakfast this morning before my live and had pancakes and eggs and toast, it would be good, but I wouldn't feel good for this live, right? If I eat a heavy dinner at my boyfriend's Christmas party tonight, for his company Christmas party, it might taste good and it might be enjoyable in the moment, but I will not most likely feel good, feel light on my feet, feel excited to dance, having fun at the Christmas party, right? So just because I can eat those things in the name of releasing restriction, I come back to myself and say, what's going to support me and feeling how I want to feel in this moment, right? What's going to guide me and feeling how I want to feel through this. So Sharon, a resource I want to point you to is actually in the Food Freedom Collection. There's a section called Workshops with Brittany, and they are basically add-ons to BBEB, which kind of walk you through some of these things that can come up on your journey. So there's a specific course in there. It's a workshop that I led, and there's PDFs with it. And it's called Making Healthy. I don't know the exact name, but it's something like making healthy or nourishing or supportive, probably making like nourishing and supportive food choices without triggering survival mode. And Sharon, I think that will really come back and really help you kind of land in that beautiful middle ground that helps you make choices that are really honoring you and self-honoring, but also give you that food freedom and staying away from the dieting. So, so helpful. Yes, yes. Oh, good. I'm glad this is helpful. So what I would say, Sharon, is now I would point you to the workshop with Brittany section in the collection and pick out the ones that you really think will help you. There's another one. I believe there's even one on weight loss in there, a weight loss without dieting. It's one of the later ones, but definitely that making healthy choices without triggering survival mode is going to be really, really helpful. There's also a workshop in there on listening to and connecting and honoring your body with your food choices. And I think that will really help. Vanessa. Okay. This will be my last question. And then I will be on Monday. What's on Monday? What is on Monday? Monday is a good one. Hold on. Let's see what's on Monday. Can you talk about your program bundle more in depth? Yes, Vanessa. So I'll do that now. And then we will jump into our next topic on Monday, which is what's our next topic on Monday? I'm looking it up right now. Oh, eating with ease while traveling or when you're out of town. So Monday is going to be all about like how to take care of yourself with food, your actions when you're, traveling, doing things. I have some really, really good tips for that. Even if you're not traveling now, it's really helpful. Or like when you have family in town, or maybe you got a work day, or even it actually will even help you with like if you work out of the house and pack your lunch, like how to support yourself with that and all of these things. So that'll be Monday. Okay, so programs. So basically, I started as a private coach in 2009, a long time ago, 12 years ago. And then I kept having people come to me who struggled with binge eating. I struggled with binge eating. So then I went all in on the binge eating space and coached probably over 100 different clients privately and in a group in a company that I was in. And then I decided I'm going to go all in on supporting people through binge eating. So basically I went like a mad scientist and I wrote out all the problems, all the pain points, everything they came across. And I was like, my private coaching is more of like we're talking through things. They're not necessarily, you needed something more tangible. So this is when I created the Beating Binge Eating Blueprint, which is in our Food Freedom collection. And I've revised it and improved it over time. And when I launched it probably 6 years ago, up until 6 months ago, that program was anywhere from 1997 to $39.97, from $2,000 to $4,000 to take. And that program, and that program is included in our collection for $129. I've reiterated it and perfected it. It is our signature system. That alone is well worth the collection. 10 times over. You can look on our website. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials. We've had 3,500 students almost. I think we're at like 3,300, like just raving reviews on this thing. So that's in the collection. And basically it walks you out of survival mode and intense dieting. And then it moves you into working with your brain and breaking the patterns that cause binge and overeating. It supports you with listening to and connecting to your body. And then it supports you with the deeper emotional work so you don't get taken off track by emotional eating, and really supports with changing your identity and your belief system around food. So that's in the collection. Then I've also hosted a lot of other series, a lot of other programs, a lot of other things that I put in the collection. So about 6 months ago, I decided I was going to take a step back from coaching. Our head coach was transitioning to another role. We wanted to move away from doing like these big sales enrollment calls and things like that. And I wanted to get our programs in the hands of more people at an affordable price. So I pulled back and retired from coaching. I actually wasn't planning on doing anything like this series or anything again, but I missed everyone and I wanted to support through the holidays. And we bundled everything I created up until that point, besides my Food Freedom Forever program, because that's a real intense program I wanted to save in case we wanted to do something with it in the future. And I bundled everything I was comfortable with that I knew people could get incredible results with in a self-study format into our collection. So BBEB is in there, our signature program. We have our 30-day Overcome Overeating Challenge. We have which is incredible starting place. It's so easy and so tangible. And it's these mini like 15 to 20 minute daily lessons for 30 days. There's a body image bootcamp program that supports you with all your inner world around your body image. We had a guest coach, Lily Nicole, do I think a 6 to 8 class series on body image, body connection. That's in there. Body confidence, just feeling like your best self, like owning your self-worth. That's in there. We have a ton of workshops that I've done. So as you can imagine, with coaching for 6 years, our clients needed support beyond just our programs. So what I would do is when I saw maybe like a common question coming up in our programs, I would do a workshop on it. So for example, the question Sharon asked, which is, I don't want to diet, but I don't want to gain weight. So where's that middle ground? How do I take care of myself without without dieting? So I did a workshop on that. Our students wanted more in-depth tools to listen to their body. There's a workshop on that. So any problem that you could come across on your food freedom journey, there's a workshop for in the collection. There's also a coaching call vault. So every coaching call from the last 2-ish years is in there, every weekly call that I've done. Then we dissected the calls and we chopped them up into question by question and we put them in a database. So let's say, Vanessa, you are struggling with nighttime cravings. You go to the database, you look for nighttime cravings and nighttime eating, you click on it, and you hear me answer that question for different students in a few different ways, live on a call, almost like you're getting coached by me, just at your pocket. This is all in a membership portal. There's more stuff. My favorite podcasts are in there. There's another whole holiday program in there. There's a holiday guide. There's a ton of guides and tools. There's craving cards. There's so much stuff in there. What else is in there? I don't even know. There's so much. It's all the resources I've made over the last 6 years. Oh, there's hypnotherapies, there's visualizations, there's meditations. There is an audio that next time you have an urge to binge, you click on the audio and you play it. And I walk you through our process for stopping your binge urges in their tracks. It literally, everyone thinks it was kind of gimmicky, like, oh, I'm retiring, here's everything I ever created. It was not a gimmick at all. Like, it really is all the stuff I put together over the last 6 years for our students in a really, really, really affordable bundle. So the link for that is in my bio, or you can get it at foodfreedomcollection.com if you're on Facebook. The only program that's not in there is our Food Freedom Forever program. That is a program dedicated to deeper emotional work, loving your body, weight loss without dieting, feeling really confident, and feeling really connected to yourself. It's like a deep dive mastermind type program. And that program I felt like required coaching because it's a little more intensive. So I didn't want to put that in the bundle. I felt like I would be doing a disservice to anyone going through it. So we will maybe come back with a little coaching comeback with that here in the future, but still just trying to figure out some things since, the team has shifted and all of that. But yes, Vanessa, you said, my goodness. Yeah, it's so much. But the cool thing is it has a video breakdown of how to use this all. I point you to where you should start. I walk you through it. There's like a course you should follow, and then you have all the resources to support the course whenever you need it. I need to change my chapstick because every time I do my lives, my chapstick starts going like right here. Sorry. Anyway, I need to go pack bags. I got to go get some stuff ready for this Christmas party. I got to go do a little self-care. I got to get some more work done. So I'm going to end this live. Monday, we will be talking at 10 a.m. Pacific all about just not even taking care of yourself, but just like how to manage when you're totally off schedule or when you're in a different location or when you're traveling or when you're working. I know the holidays come with different schedules, different food, different travel, all the things. And so Monday at 10 a.m., we're going to be talking about that. So I hope this was helpful today. Thank you all for being here. And we are doing this Facebook and Instagram live every weekday, Monday through Friday until January 3rd. So supporting you through literally any food, body, and emotional thing that could come up through the holidays. And then as we get closer to the new year, kind of like post-Christmas into January 3rd, I'll be talking all things, New Year's resolution, making change that lasts, how to do that without falling back into that strict dieting mode, but still like wanting to take care of yourself and so forth. So yeah, super excited for the rest of this series. Vanessa, can you save this? Yes. So all of these lives are being saved in our Facebook group. So if you go on Facebook and you search Food Freedom and Body Confidence with Brittany, you should see that group there. If you can't find it, just message me on IG or message me on Facebook and I'll link you to the group so you can join it. But all the lives are going to live in that Facebook group. I think that's it for today. So I hope everyone has a good weekend. See you later, Instagram. Bye-bye. And Facebook. Hope this was helpful. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, someone asked, was I ever heavy? I've been about 50 pounds more than this. So by no means would that be considered obese. So I don't know the personal experience of living life in an obese body. And I know that comes with things that I can understand from reading and talking to clients, but that I won't ever understand as like a personal experience. But I was 50 pounds heavier than this. And I also yo-yoed like 30 pounds. I'm talking like could eat for a week and I would gain 30 pounds, or like I would diet all week and be like super kind of sucked in and depleted and low on water weight. And then I would like drink and binge all weekend, and gain 20 to 30 pounds, like over just a few, like I could gain like 15 pounds in a weekend. So while that wasn't like struggling in the world of obesity, right? It was struggling with this like just swelling, intense water weight. Like if you saw me on a Friday compared to a Monday, my friends would be like, what? Like you look so different. Like I remember going on a trip and I went to Mexico and I had been being like eating clean and all this stuff pre-Mexico, and all the cute little clothes and the small stuff I packed literally didn't fit me in Mexico because when I started eating, my body reacted so poorly to the foods, and it reacted so poorly since I had been restricting. So yeah, I have dealt with a lot of weight stuff, and I'll talk about that more in the series. I don't know why I didn't share that a little more yet, but I have. So yeah, we'll talk about that more. But awesome. All right. So you said that's me. Yeah, I feel it's so hard. It's so tough. So go back and pay attention and watch that All or Nothing video if you haven't already. The one yesterday talks about ending the cycle a lot too. I think that will really help. And I hope everyone has a really great weekend. Enjoy it. And I will talk to you on Monday.